I gotta be honest with you. Why the did we even run the Phoenix race? We should have just handed it to my boy Zillage.
This is deceptive business practices by NASCAR.
And those that got a little nuts and going to let them hang a little bit are going to push that pedal harder and go to the front. Give them horsepower.
My name is Chad Beard, and I'm a country music artist, content creator, and NASCAR superfan. I'm joined, as always, by my illustrious co-hosts. Let me introduce him to you. His mullet has its own fan club, its own zip code, possibly a restraining order. The man who runs VIP experiences and turns it into legendary stories, and occasionally, give it up for the follicle phenom, Rick Kojan.
Thanks, Chad. Thanks for having me back.
That was it. That was short and sweet today. I don't think I've ever heard you be so abbreviated.
That's all I got.
All right. He spent years in IT, which explains why he has absolutely no patience for stupidity. Tonight, he'll be hearing cases involving bad strategy, worse driving, and Denny Hamlin fans. All rise for Chris, the Supreme Court Justice.
Hey, welcome back, Chad. We're now in session.
There it is.
Oh, look at that.
Let's get it.
We got a special guest on the edition tonight. I'm up in Apex doing some work on my other job at CARDIACS in our Apex location, and my friend / boss Seth here is coming on the podcast with us tonight. I got you your own intro. Just wait for it. You got your own intro. Yeah. Here we go.
Oh boy.
He's built a career around knowing what collectibles are worth, which is ironic because his dating history suggests he's still struggling with valuation. Give it up for the king of cards and questionable relationship scouting reports. Seth Cannon is here.
That's fair.
Nice.
Well, welcome, Seth. Hey, thanks for taking the time, to host the Podfather there. Looked like you had a very immaculate location. And thanks for joining us.
Oh, it's awesome to be here. It's a good opportunity. I appreciate you guys and enjoy what you guys do. So let's see what we got tonight.
He tried to put us on the TV in the NASCAR room at CARDIACS at the one in Kannapolis. For those who don't know, this might be breaking news right now, but we are building a NASCAR section. I wouldn't call it a whole room, but it's a good amount of real estate in the Apex store. So it is will have die casts and singles and a lot of the things that people find and love at the NASCAR room in Kannapolis, they can now find in Apex. And if you're not familiar with Apex, it's right outside of Raleigh, a beautiful little town. We went out to dinner tonight in downtown Apex. Man, beautiful little downtown area. The food was really good. We went to this little restaurant called Scratch. Mm-hmm. And
that sounds like some good home cooking.
Yeah, it's like Southern food mixed, like fused with Asian. It was really good. Yeah.
So they had like collard greens and bang bang shrimp, or what? Like, how did that work out?
Yeah, what was it? We
had fried okra and bang bang shrimp.
Yeah. Pickled
okra. That's right.
Pickled okra and bang bang shrimp appetizers, and then like I had this like steak sandwich that had a some kind of Asian sauce on it, like that had just a little bit of a kick to it. It was really good. But
shout out to Apex.
Yeah, it was really cool. You spent some time up this way, hadn't you, Chris?
A little bit. My freshman year, we ran some Apex relays out there when I was with the Hillside Hornets there, burning up the tracks locally. Yeah, familiar with Apex.
We got to get Ricky up this way.
He might not want to leave. It's
kind of his speed a little bit.
Absolutely.
Good food. They got a bunch of breweries downtown.
Yeah.
Like I've been over that way.
Yeah. Feel like you like it. All right, so we're going to talk some NASCAR. We're also going to talk some sports cards tonight. Particularly, we're going to talk some NASCAR trading cards. I've been wanting to get Seth on for a while. I love when you guys ask me about cards. You know that I'm addicted. I'm all in to cards. And I send you guys pictures all the time of stuff that I pull. Rick, you've been a part of us doing some rips with Sam Mayer and
I
Butterbean
have.
and some of those guys. And
Yep.
you've picked up some of the lingo, but you're always asking me questions. And there really is like there's nobody who has the knowledge of cards like Seth does. Seth is in charge of all the wax for the entire company. And this guy, I mean, really is a wealth of
You
knowledge.
said wax or
Wax.
wax? Is
Wax.
that
He's in charge of all the wax. What the
is
fuck
that
does that mean?
WAX or WACKS?
H or WACHS.
How do we?
WX. It comes back from like, do you remember the little packs you got maybe as a kid where it had the bubble gum inside? It had the wax
Oh,
coating on the outside of the
yeah.
packs. That's where that comes from.
See,
Got you.
this is another one of these words, Chris.
Yeah. See, we was all off base.
It's all
So,
right. I'm keeping a freaking list.
yeah.
Before we get going here, our good guy Lucky Lars too is pretty big on the cards and some know-how. Kind of briefed us on some of the lingo once we got started here early on in our podcast career.
Yeah, Lars was one of the first guys that got me into cards a little bit before I even started at Cardiacs. And
Hmm.
he sent us some cards like after he won our contest and all that good stuff. And still we talk cards back and forth a good bit. But so, like Seth's job for Cardiacs is he orders and keeps everything stocked and essentially knows everything about every single card that goes on to the shelves, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, soccer, hockey, Pokemon, Star Wars, Disney, like you name it, this guy knows more than I could ever dream of when it comes to cards. It's insanity.
Oh, wow.
Maybe a little stretch there. I definitely had to step my game up on a few things, and the card game is always evolving and changing. I'm super excited to see where it goes with NASCAR in particular. Um, but yeah, that's one thing really cool about cards is the product innovation and what they can do with cards. And I think there's some cool things that could be headed towards NASCAR as some speculation that some other companies are doing. But we'll see.
So
Speaking of,
you always been a card guy? So like started out when you were a youngster.
Yeah,
You was riding the BMX bike to go get cards in the wax bubble gum or what?
And apparently wasn't putting them in his spokes like we were.
so my dad and my uncle started the store. We're going on 19 years now for the
Oh,
shop. So
nice.
I grew up as a kid around cards, always loved cards, and I didn't think this was what I was going to do, and just kind of came home from college and dipped my toes in, and it's kind of been history since then.
and check out this shirt he's got rocking. So this is the old action pack cards, like the original race cards.
Oh yeah.
Max, then action packed. So his grandfather, Mr. Wayne, Ricky, dug this t-shirt out for him.
Had to
How about
break it
that?
out. Had to break it out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's loud.
That's cool.
So I wanted to talk cards, race cards specifically. These have made kind of a huge resurgence in the past few years, and largely in part to lots of guys like Dale Jr., like Cole Swindell, guys like Butterbean and those guys getting back into cards, posting about them, coming into the store, and really talking about them a lot. Dell Jr. has been giving us shout outs on his podcast.
It's been cool.
Yeah, about coming into the store and sending people our way, and that's been cool. But it's really NASCAR. So let's talk about first a little bit, just full transparency with people. So let's say you pull a case hit out of out of this. So this is 2026 Donruss Racing. And we've got a mega box and a blaster box. And you could talk a little bit about the difference in with this product in particular, there's a blaster, there's a mega, and there's a hobby box, right? So you can talk about the difference in those and kind of what people are chasing out of the different boxes. Let's start with that.
Yeah, so these two are going to be on the retail side. If they have them available, you can find them at like a Walmart, a Target. That's more of an accessible product, cheaper price points. And they'll have mainly their own parallel, some cool different cards in there. When I say parallel, it might be there's a set of base cards, 1 through maybe 200. And everybody will have their own card or own little thing. And then a parallel would be a slight variation to that card. Could be the image is different. Could be that there's a color on the card that's different from the other ones. They'll build these rainbow sets out or different variations that have patterns and things on them. And those can have scarcity to them, or they can be limited in number. So some of them, it goes all the way down to 1 of 1. So you'll have some cards in a parallel where that is the only one, which can carry some good value through that. They've got some other things in there like short prints and inserts. Common inserts, usually what you find in these guys. I will say a big thing that's been really popular with the blasters are these slingshot parallels or insert cards.
Which is what we're really hoping for tonight.
Very, very hard to get. I mean, it says ultra rare on the box. I know Cole was trying to get one. He got so fed up that he just bought one.
Well, he didn't even try. He went straight for just bought it.
Yeah.
But you want to open these up and we'll talk about
sure.
like we'll open some of these while we talk about them.
Yeah.
So like when we're talking about and what I was going to say before is how NASCAR is coming back is like when we talk about, let's say, football. So Topps just got the rights back to football, right? They just put out their first licensed football product in 10 years. And the numbers that we saw on Topps products at as in what they are selling for on the secondary market. So if a Jackson Dart Premier Patch Auto, like there was a bounty on that car.
So Topps just got basketball as well. Did you see what the Victor Wembanyama just sold for?
I did not.
The Victor Wembanyama rookie, 1 of 1 parallel, like I was talking about before, not even autographed, just sold at auction last week for $5.1 million.
Say that again.
$5.1 million
For a card.
for a piece of cardboard. Yes, sir.
Look at your face, Chris.
Wow.
So that is like an ultra rare case hit.
That was the one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 1-of-1. Like that's so if you now we're to reference that to where NASCAR is currently. We're saying this is coming back. This is building up. And it is like it's getting better and better. If you pull, let's say the hottest cards right now, if you pulled a 1-of-1 Carson Hocevar or a 1-of-1 Connor Zillage or a 1-of-1 Corey Haim right now, like you're looking at what?
Depending on, so for this set, I mean, if it's an insert, a base card, I mean, you're talking probably,
let's say top of the line out of this product.
Probably a few $100. You get it graded, get it assessed that way for condition, and you could be looking in the around 1,000. But there, I think there was a big Jeff Gordon card that was just talked about. That one did pretty darn well. But I mean,
I'm going to see that card tomorrow.
Yes. But there's a lot of opportunity, I think, in NASCAR, especially with it being really cool. Like one thing for NASCAR is every week. I mean, you got a guy that's got an opportunity. So, and you can use these cards if it's not your driver. You can use it for trade to go after someone that is your driver. They just come off a big win or place well.
So that's there's a Rajah Caruth parallel. You see how it's shiny. It has the different.
Yeah, it's got this almost the lighting effect in it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
compare that to this is a base card.
Okay, so that was your average car
Yeah.
back in the day. Okay.
Yes, that's your kind of plain.
They got insert cards. Like these are pretty cool, pretty common, but still really cool. One thing I'll say about collecting, there's lots of different directions you can go in with it, but collect what you love, collect what you like. Don't
Hmm.
necessarily just have to go after something because it's expensive. The Unleashed cards are pretty cool. They don't go for a lot, but they're really cool to collect and have. There's fun things you can do with it. And this product, I'm sure one of us will Spellbound card.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've started doing the spellbound. I was just about to say that.
yeah, it's not expensive. You can make it expensive if you want to go after the numbered parallels. But there's these spellbound cards where
There's
they
even
give
one, yeah.
yes. Super collectors will go after those. Oh, got something here.
How about a Sam Mayer right there?
How about a little Eric
I've seen that one.
autograph? That's cool.
What's that one?
Eric Jones.
Gotcha.
Eric Jones autograph.
Auto. You don't say autograph, Chad. Just auto.
Sorry.
But the spellbounds, you can collect all the letters, create their whole name. There's some super collectors out there that'll say like, "Hey, I'm wanting the golds." I know they only made 10 of each of them, but they'll try and get all the gold parallels to create that person's last name. And
Oh,
so,
wow.
depending on who you like, that could be really easy. Depending on who you like, could be very, very hard.
Like I did the Corey High.
Thank
That was easy.
goodness Victor Wembanyama doesn't race cars because that would be impossible. Cool little Race Kings numbered Brad Keselowski. These are really pretty cards too. Little cracked ice parallel.
That's cool.
That is cool.
So then you have like these are called season highlights. So this is where Bubba Wallace won the Brickyard last year. Those are cool little inserts. Tell me some questions about cards, Ricky.
Questions about the cards specifically?
Yeah, or just about the hobby, anything.
Well, you fired through Mega Box, Blaster Box, and Hobby Box, and Chris and I had no idea what you're talking about. All I know is two of those three are available at Walmart and Target. One is the premium, so that must be the Mega Box.
So both of these are retail, excuse me. Yeah. So there's these hobby boxes as well. Those will have your absolute guarantees. They'll have special inserts, special cards, but you can only get those at a hobby store.
That's what I was just going to ask. What would be the expectation in a Cardiacs versus buying the regular common merchandise at Walmart?
Yeah, so I mean, while we do provide these options, we do have some higher end options like the Donruss Hobby Box, like National Treasures. When you get in that range, you can get boxes that are like Donruss where you're going to get is like 16, 12 packs, I think.
I think so.
12 packs. You're guaranteed a few autographs. There's some special parallels that you could only get in those boxes. There's some special inserts. Those things like when we say a case hit, the downtown, there'll be at least one downtown guaranteed in that case of product. Those are pretty sought after cards. I got a nice little suited up Christopher Bell here.
I just got a
Piece of race.
Christopher Bell.
Nice.
These are the spellbound. So this is Kyle
Hmm.
Busch spellbound.
So I know they have it in other sports too with like patch cards and things like that. That's one thing I really like about the NASCAR product is you can pull those piece of fire suit, piece of tire. Um,
This
uh,
one has the so they have the fire suit, the tire, and the sheet metal
and the
in
sheet
this
metal.
product.
Yes,
Correct.
it's a way for fans to get more engaged and closer to their drivers that they like in a different way. You don't have to have a pit pass. You don't have to have these things and able to get your hands on a piece of memorabilia from a race, which is really, really cool. You don't even have to go to the race. You can get home.
You just got to breeze through Cardiacs to get your boxes.
Yes, sir.
You can just sit out by the pool.
Yeah.
It's little Dale Earnhardt Jr. Race Kings right there.
So it's still a thing to put them in the little sleeves like we did in the 80s or what? Is that
Absolutely. Sleeve and top
They're,
load.
yeah, they're not called sleeves anymore, Chris. We have a new term.
Oh,
Oh,
no, he's
okay.
right. Sleeves and top load.
Penny sleeves.
Penny sleeves. Inflation. They're like 3 penny sleeves
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
so if you have them in your trapper keeper from back in the early 80s, does that add value to them or what?
I'd probably break them out at this point and put them a little something different, but you never know. You never know. It's cool. So actually, a fun fact. Um, one of the first ever companies to put memorabilia into cards was based out of North Carolina,
Hmm.
and it was racing products. Was the first product to put pieces of memorabilia into cards. That was before baseball, basketball, football.
Oh wow. So they pioneered that movement.
Yes, they did.
Oh, that's cool.
So what questions you got, Chris?
Oh, listen, I'm shooting them as I get them, baby. I'm rapid fire here. So, so how does the novice guy know if he has a card of value? Let's say he goes and gets lucky and buys a pack off the shelf at Target. How does he know he has something that's of value? Is there like a website to go to and you kind of just comb it, or you got to kind of
Um, an easy way to tell, I mean, obviously popularity, or
mm-hmm,
and another way is going to be potential, because NASCAR, you got some really young guns that are making
mm-hmm,
their way up. So that's another way to look at it. If you got a guy that's popular with potential, you got to look for cards that are either really low numbered, or what can be tricky, like those downtowns I was talking about. They
yep,
don't number them. They number some of them, but they're not numbered. So maybe someone doesn't know what they're looking at or looking for, but that's a
right,
really big card. They're in the hundreds of dollars for one of those cards.
gotcha.
But there's a really good website and resource called 130point.com. They show you real-time sales versus what people are asking for the card. I get it
Right,
all the time. Someone may come in and be like, well, it's on eBay for $1,000. Be like, well, I can put it on there for whatever I want. What is it selling for?
right.
But 130 points a really good resource to see what they're at in real
Is
time.
it fair to say the flashier the card, the more value it has, or no? Like
Sometimes.
you had that icebreaker card versus like the normal, you know, card with the guy standing there with his helmet, you know?
Yeah, so sometimes
How about a Jeff Gordon suited up?
Yeah,
that
so
that
that card would be
Blaney.
obviously have more value than the Jeff Gordon with no patch in it, right?
It depends on what the Jeff Gordon card is.
Yeah.
See,
So if it's a Jeff Gordon downtown, no, the Jeff Gordon downtown is going to be more. If it's a Jeff Gordon numbered card and it's a 24 of 24, that card is a door number card, as we would like to say.
because it's the same number that
He
he
drove.
drove.
Yes.
Ah, I'm
Um,
picking this up, Ricky.
Yep.
so like this card is this is a Jimmy Johnson Unleashed card. It's 85 of 149.
So, but if that was 48 of 189 or whatever it is, that'd be worth
It would
more
make
than
it
the 85.
more desirable.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Nice, richer petty blue. What's another thing too? So eye appeal can be part of it. If you get if you get a card that, it matches the paint scheme of the car, matches the fire suit that they're wearing, that can have a lot of eye appeal and look really good. While normally, you know, the guys out there wearing this lime green paint or lime green suit. It may not look good on a different parallel, but that on a lime green parallel may look pretty darn good.
I gotcha.
That'll do well too.
So, all in all, you gotta do your research, right? You gotta know what you're looking for.
Do
You
your
kind
research,
of gotta.
definitely. Like I said, a big portion to it is collect what you like, collect what you love. Don't have to follow the crowd based on everybody else.
Hmm.
Uh, of course, there's some cards you want to go after and get into. But if you don't like the way that it looks or it's not appealing to you, collecting's up to the individual. So go
But
after your drivers, go after the guys you think can hit it big, can win. Um,
so too, like, and there's a difference if in what your goal is, right? So we have we have different people who are walking into the card shop. We have moms who are coming in with kids who are just wanting to get into the hobby. It's their very
Hmm.
first time. They've never collected cards before. And they say, hey, my kid just wants to get in the hobby. What should we do? They all they care about is baseball, and they're an Indians fan or a Guardians, whatever they are now, whatever
The
they,
Indians.
yeah, well, you're you call it.
No,
Uh,
no, they are. They're still the Indians. I mean,
well, so all right, they have their favorite team. All they care about is that team.
Hmm.
Versus you have other guys who are coming in and they say, hey, I have a $5,000 budget. I'm looking to get the most on my return, the most return on my money. And so they're just looking for you to direct them to a product to where they're going to get the biggest hit out of that product because all they're trying to do is flip it. So we're at a really weird, and I'll let you chime in on this. To me, and I've not been in this business very long, but we're kind of at a weird spot in the hobby and in the business where the hobby and the business are colliding, right? Because you have people who genuinely just love collecting this stuff. Like I'm a collector. I'm not in this to sell. You guys know I keep everything. It doesn't matter what I'm collecting. I keep everything. And then you have guys who are playing this thing like it's the stock market.
Yeah.
And that's doing some really weird things to the business.
It is. It is. And I think, I look at some cards and I have to put things in a business perspective. There's cards to me that are more like stocks. There are cards to me that are more like bonds. There's cards that are just safe, nice cards. It's not going to really drop. It's not really going to go up from there. I talk about this ironically a lot with parents about Pokemon more than anything. So a lot of sports cards are like stocks. These players are winning MVPs, winning titles, winning championships in racing, which is really cool, which can swing cards up. But they're human beings, so they can also make mistakes, do dumb stuff. They can lose sponsorships, things like that. Pikachu and Charizard are never going to tear their ACL. They're never going to go to jail. They're safe investments. They're bonds. That's kind of like in racing, buying some of these guys that are retired. They're always going to be fan favorites. Um, that their value is going to be there. If you come into Cardiacs and you buy, we've got just a couple left, a Dale Earnhardt Senior autograph, that value is not going to, it's only going to go slowly up. Nothing else is going to really happen with them.
Right.
But you get your hands on a young, nice driver, and they
What's
screw
the
up
average cost of that card?
on that card. Like two and some change,
Yeah,
three-ish,
just a
something
little
like
over
that.
two, I think. And that's a it's an authenticated slab.
2,000 or
No.
200?
No,
200. 200.
I mean,
so I
I
will
was just
say,
trying to clarify.
what I would say is a benefit, maybe not everyone would say this in the NASCAR realm of things with racing cards, is a lot of these drivers sign quite a bit. So the value because of the population of their autographs are out there is not quite as high as some other sports. You can look at that in a very similar um, platform as F1. You don't get access to those drivers. You don't get to go and they're not doing a whole lot. Their autographs go for a crap ton of money. But why? Is because they don't give fan access like NASCAR does. And I think that's a beautiful thing that racing has that other sports don't, is the fan access and availability for people to get into
Mm.
collecting.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword for us for sure.
Yeah.
Because again, even with memorabilia, like when we get into diecast and things like that, because um, you know, diecasts are super cool. And, we get people who come in with whatever piece of memorabilia and, oh, I have this signed by Richard Petty. And
Mhm.
that's awesome. Like he's the king and that's incredible. But he also stands by the fence and signs every single thing that anybody asks him to sign, which does not make his autograph rare, which unfortunately
Right.
makes the price go down.
Mhm.
Where, is, like you were saying with F1, those guys just don't sign.
Mhm.
And so if you have an autograph from one of those guys, it goes through the roof.
So they started to create scarcity through the parallel programs where you will have the only one. You could have the one of only 10 that are made and out there. Um, I thought it was amazing the card that Jerry has pulled at the Cannonballers game.
Yeah.
Beautiful card, booklet card. This is through that scarcity he was talking about with it's National Treasures. It's a box. It's like depending on the year, $400 to $500 for a box, and there's only 8 cards in there. Now the trick is every single card, I believe, is numbered to 99 or less. So they didn't make a single card in there more than 99 times. And he pulled a
Mm.
very low numbered booklet card that opened up, had an autograph and a patch. And Jerry's looking at this card and he's like, I this was my first win. This was my first win being on
In
that team
NASCAR,
in
yeah.
NASCAR. And that was a piece of the fire suit that the driver was wearing. So he was like, this means so much to me. This is so cool. So like that
Wow.
to him is priceless. So
Yeah.
creating
Yeah.
that moment is so cool.
Well, and those the national treasure ones too, and some of the turn four ones, some of the bigger products. You're getting giant patches. Like we say you're getting a patch card, like the Jeff
We
Gordon patch card that I showed you. But
this one's
Yeah, I mean, that was
but
small.
like you're getting a small piece, but this is a retail box, right? You're paying small amounts of money for it, so the guarantee is less. Their card that you're getting in return is less. The the National Treasure is a higher end product, and you're getting some. I mean, they're pieces of art, they're pieces of history, and they're framed up for you, and it's just a beautiful piece.
and it's cool too because they do a very good job of like Chad would love this if like you got a big honking Red Bull logo off there. I've seen ones with the whole entire three claws of the monster off the fire suits on there.
Yeah,
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so you can pull things too like that from the piece of the sponsors. That's really cool.
yeah. I mean, so the I don't know if you got to see this, Chris, but so the Jeff Gordon one of one from this got pulled yesterday, and he presented the guy with it, and it has like a giant Hendrick patch and the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series patch. Let me see if I can show you this.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I see it.
Yeah, so that's one card it folds open, but that is the only one. So
One of one.
one
Holy
of
shit.
one.
And those
And
pieces,
that came out of that pack you said only had 8 cards in it?
no, that came out of Adonis, I think.
Wow.
I could be wrong. Uh, but yeah, he got it yesterday and they brought him to Hendrick, I think. They were supposed to do it at Fan Day, but obviously a lot of things happened.
Right. Right. Fan
So
day was canceled.
yeah, they ended up canceling Fan Day and all.
Hmm.
But, so they brought him over to Hendrick yesterday. Jeff Gordon personally signed it for him, noted it one of one.
Oh, wow.
So really cool. So what other questions you got about these cards or any cards in general?
Hit me.
I'm good, Ricky. What you got, buddy?
Does the value of a card ever increase because of the unfortunate passing of an athlete?
It can. You've seen that right now, big time. It's kind of, I'm not a fan of how some people do it.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's terrible.
we did not have any autographs of his in the store at the time.
We did, we pulled them.
We did pull it. Okay. Um, good. I would, so what we typically do, we did the same thing when Kobe had passed. Um, and when tragedy strikes like that, we typically just pull it off. And we like let it sit for 2 months, 3 months, let the market kind of settle, let some emotions come out of everything.
Yeah,
Because while people do dash, because if they don't have their autograph in their collection, um, or something from them, they might rush to go get it, but it's kind of like they're in a way being taken advantage of a little
for
bit
sure.
most of the
Yeah,
time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and then there's profiteering going on that doesn't look good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the same people who jack up gas prices during a natural disaster or anything else. Like,
Sure.
we were talking about Lars, he sent me screenshots of where people were paying $3,000-$4,000 for a Kyle Busch autograph card that was going for $100
Yeah, that's why I asked.
the week before. And to the credit of everybody in our organization, we pulled all of the Kyle Busch trading cards that we had from the system and put them back and they'll go back out once the market calms down. And that was done only to keep not to keep the fans from them, but to keep somebody from buying them and trying to flip them.
Correct.
The
Yeah.
gougers, yeah.
But everything else, we still have, we have tumblers and we have cups and all the other fan items, and they're still listed at the same price. They're still selling at the same price as every other tumbler and fan item that's in the store, whatever else is in there in either of the stores and online. So,
It is a delicate situation. And sometimes you'll see it hasn't happened surprisingly to me. Um, and maybe I just haven't looked at the checklist. This year when you look at National Treasures, the prices may go up if he does have like his last autographs in those boxes and those products. And that's more of a more natural thing, I would say, versus the guys that are just selling his autographs for ridiculous amounts of money right now.
Hmm.
And there is an understanding to it, his value going up, but the pulling on the emotions uh type of thing is not quite right. So that's like I said, we typically just park those things for 2, 3 months, wait for things to settle down a little bit, and go out at a more understanding.
which is a little bit odd to me too, because you can pull Kyle Busch autographs from these boxes.
Yeah, I
So,
would assumed these things would
yeah,
have
I
gone
would have
up.
thought they would have, in that there would have been a run on those, but there wasn't. I mean, that I know of, at
Yeah,
least in our stores.
not yet at least, I
Yeah,
guess, but we'll see.
we put this out, and they're gonna,
Yeah.
the 27 people that watch this podcast are,
That's right. No,
28 now.
we might
I
have
think we're up to
28 now.
28.
Yeah, we have
well,
28.
all Seth's ex-girlfriends are gonna come watch it now, and
Oh man.
Wow.
Oh boy.
oh,
All right, Chad, my last question. I remember when we were at Cardiacs and we did the podcast live, had a great time at that store there in downtown Kannapolis, and people should come out and check that store out. And we're in there, we did the podcast, and I was kind of running around, browsing around, and I could have swore, like right when you walk in, the front case is facing you, the cash register's there. I thought I saw something in there that was really expensive Tiger Woods. And I go back to what Seth said about bad behavior, but potentially damaging the value of something like that. And I mean, I'm not trying to pick on the guy, but come on, man. I mean, has there been a couple more, 3 instances of bad behavior?
So he's an interesting one. So when we talked about scarcity before,
Yep.
Upper Deck has paid a crazy, ridiculous price to basically own his rights for images, for autographs, and memorabilia. So other companies can't even print a card with his face on it. They own the right to his image on a card. It's that extensive. On the
Oh, wow.
memorabilia side, this actually went into effect recently from our end. I cannot, when I like everyone would understand, we get a wholesale price for Upper Deck to be able to resell their memorabilia. We're a
Right.
direct account with them, direct diamond dealer. We don't get a discount on Tiger Woods anymore. If I want to buy it, I pay the same price everybody else does for him. He
Really?
he just does not sign. Although they
Wow.
have exclusive rights and a contract with him, he does not sign. They're the same way with Michael Jordan. So even though Topps has the rights to basketball, they can't make a Michael Jordan card. He can't. They've had to cancel images because he's been in the background of a photo before, and they'd get sued if they let that card out on accident. So they can't even make a Michael Jordan basketball card.
Because he's in the background, they can't even
that's
run it.
that's why you don't see Michael Jordan in any of the NASCAR product,
That's true. Yep.
because
Wow.
Upper Deck has exclusive rights to everything Michael Jordan.
Hmm.
All right. Well, I'm out of questions. I thought that was an interesting one, but there is
Yeah.
something in that Cardiacs case. Tiger Woods, it was down low, and
Yeah, yeah, we have lots of Tiger Woods.
it commanded a pretty high price, and I was like,
I want
wow.
to say it was either a pin flag or if we might have sold it, but we had it was
Yeah,
small.
maybe you know what, Seth? It might have been the pin flag. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
The last Masters
there's a
pin flag.
Masters pin flag. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because we just sold the azalea piece.
Yeah.
I think that
If you're
we had
thinking
a
about Tiger
beautiful
Woods,
azalea.
I won't be able to order anymore. I think every year we usually pick up a couple pieces because, like I said, he's more of a bond kind of guy. It's just not going to
Yep.
go down. He
Right.
can wreck his car as many times as he wants. He's too established. As long as he doesn't do something extremely dumb and illegal, um, his value's just going to be what it is. And now to
This is just kind of dumb and illegal.
Yeah, he could do kind of dumb and a
Yeah,
little.
not extremely.
So what you're saying is the OJ cars dropped to like 33 cents on the dollar.
Oh.
well, he's got a cult following, so that's even different. More,
What you say, old Rick?
Yeah, I said, we've come up with some good ones, Chris.
Mm.
Well, and that's that's another venture that we've like a weird crossover venture that so the basement below the cardiacs in Kannapolis, we own that as well. And there's tons and tons of memorabilia down there that is not sports. So it's music, it's entertainment, movie that we're
It's trying to get us broken into, and I'm
sorry,
an issue.
sorry. No, but so we we also have a very strict authentication policy.
Yeah.
So we don't put anything out that's autographed for sale as an autograph piece unless it's authenticated by JSA, PSA,
Beckett,
Beckett, something of that caliber.
Gotcha.
So, but we are looking at some possibilities of doing some things with pop culture, entertainment, music, stuff like that, which crosses into that weird
cult
OJ
following
cult
type stuff,
following.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. All right.
But,
Cool.
So
That was interesting. That was a lot of good detail that I never thought about cards, Obviously, we all had card experiences as kids, right?
Yep.
But just to knowing the minute details and the things that are separators, was educational tonight. Thank you.
well, and that's the other thing. Like, we all had cards as kids, and the thing that most people don't realize is, and a lot of people get offended by it, but you know, 80s and 90s, there were just so many cards printed, and they printed the same card. There was no rarity like we talked about it before. So it's called the junk wax era. And we have people come in all the time, and they will bring these binders in, and they were like, "Oh man, I got this. I have Cal Ripkins, and I have Sammy Sosa's, and I have Mark McGuire's and Barry Bonds, and all these cards." And we're like, they're awesome and they're cool, and everybody has these sentimental attachments to them.
But they're still
That's
$2
awesome. That's
cards.
why you collect. Like when I was a kid, all I cared about was I wanted to collect all the Cubs players that I loved watching on TV. But there was so many of those cards produced that they held no value.
Right.
Gotcha.
So all those companies, have tried to correct and make things more rare and create these chase cards and create these different reasons to keep buying cards, right? Otherwise, you're just collecting card.
Yeah, because unobtainium creates demand.
Right. But also to create value. But and that's the other thing that we want people to understand is like knowing the different, and that doesn't mean that you don't have anything, because certainly there are still cards in that era that have value, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you have a Griffey rookie card of us, not every Griffey rookie card, but
the upper deck Griffey rookie card.
the upper deck one is the particular one. Or, if you have the Frank Thomas no name card.
The Billy Ripken.
But that one's not
that.
rare, right? Like the Billy Ripken,
Not really.
it's not rare, but it's collectible because everybody wants it. So if you don't know that card, Billy Ripken wrote on the butt of his bat F face. And it got
Fuck
distributed.
face. or
Yes.
funny face?
The first one.
Um, and it kind of like the Winston photo
Right.
Gotcha.
that we
With
had.
Tim
With Tim
Richmond.
Richmond?
Can you
With Tim
imagine if
Richmond.
that was on a card? What that would like that would be nuts.
Yeah.
That would be literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
So he was our Tim Richmond. That was the Billy Ripken.
hmm
Gotcha.
So like, even though that card is not rare, it does have value just because people want it. Like, we
Mm.
literally had a guy in a couple weeks ago who was specifically looking for that card. And he's like, I know it's not rare. It's not you know, it's not a card that's going to make a whole lot of money, but I want the card.
I mean, it's funny because you can look at the populations and estimate the numbers. Like, so that card, they caught it and they put a black little box over so you couldn't see it. Some of the guys that made them like put a little scribble. Some people put a little white out on it or something like that. So like everyone's like, well, there's way less of them because they made all these variations. Like, well, okay, so there's only 2 million of each one made. Like, there's still a lot of them out there.
Right.
Right.
That's how they kind of screwed up how much they produce. They just weigh. I still think they're printing 91 Donruss somewhere. I don't think they're. I've seen so much 91 Donruss, it's ridiculous.
But just when you go into a card shop, for the general public, if you happen to wonder, people call me all the time. Rick and I, we have a buddy who called me the other day. Rick was with me. We were at the gas station. He called me and said, "Hey, I've got like 5 totes of cards from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Will you take these cards and like figure them out?"
Yep.
Absolutely. Like, are we going to sit there and go through every single card? No. But we have a guy who's really good at vintage, and he knows exactly what to look for inside those sets, right?
Mhm.
So, and he's going to base the bulk of those cards off are those big cards there.
So,
Sure.
and here's something maybe a little different from back then. You may not know. So back then when they make a set, they would print it literally all year long. If so and so ran out, they'd call Tops, call the distributor. Hey, I need 2 more cases. They'd send it. Now I have to pre-order things anywhere from like 2 to 4 months in advance, and they tell me how much I'm allowed to get. They allocate everybody,
Oh,
and
wow.
comes and they tell me that number, and that's what I get. When I'm out, I'm out. If I'm buying more, putting more boxes on the shelf, I'm probably buying them from another card store. I'm buying them from online if I can find a little bit of a deal. And we usually don't make it, we have to have demand for it for us to do that. I don't buy
Mhm.
loose boxes because someone out there could be like, this is a big thing for me. Like, I wouldn't buy hobby boxes off of eBay. Someone might have bought a case. Box number 3, they hit the downtown. There's no reason for them to open up the rest of those boxes. They're just going to move them the rest. I'd go to a hobby store, pay a little bit more to have the trustworthiness from a hobby store owner and purchase that box there. Um,
Gotcha.
people can weigh boxes. Some boxes have printing plates where it's made of metal. I've seen guys at Walmart's putting magnets over packs and stuff looking for the printing plates and
Really?
stuff like that.
Yeah. By the way, if you're the guy that goes through squeezing the packs at
Please
Walmart
stop.
or
Please,
Target,
please
like,
stop.
don't be a douche.
Yeah.
Like, you're ruining the hobby for the kids who are coming through there trying to buy those cards.
Yeah.
Wasn't it one time when they was preventing, like, wasn't the bots purchasing a bunch of stuff like when the Walmarts and Targets got their delivery and they had to put the kibosh on that? Wasn't that a big thing a few years ago?
It's big and it's a problem with Pokemon more than anything.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you're exactly right on that.
And the Pokemon is like, I never knew the level. Like, and this is not judgmental at all, but there are absolutely grown men our age who are all in on Pokemon, who drop thousands
Yeah.
of dollars on Pokemon.
We
And
know one of them.
you do.
Yeah. I don't know if it's thousands, but I'm pretty sure our fueler for Mayor and for the 41 Custer Ace. I think he's a Pokemon collector.
Ace is
Oh
a
yeah.
Pokemon guy.
I think he is.
Pokemon
Oh,
is all about reach. Even though it's not as scarce and the population is pretty high, it's all about reach. You could be,
mm,
uh, even if you're a NASCAR fan,
mm-hmm.
you would assume is not a big Pokemon collector. I bet you know who Pikachu is. I bet you heard of Pikachu.
Heard of him.
Pikachu is global. Charizard is global. If they had their own Instagram, it would outpace Messi's, it would outpace Ronaldo's, Taylor Swift's. I don't care. Pikachu's gonna
Wow.
have more followers. It's
Wow.
insane.
But they also like
Even Chad Bearden's.
that doesn't take much.
He might follow him back though.
Um, but like we have English Pokemon, we have Chinese, we have Japanese. There's Korean, right? I don't think
Yeah,
we have it,
I
but
don't carry that one, but yeah,
there's
I ordered straight from a guy in Japan and get it flown over here. I don't know how he does it. I order it off. I message him on Facebook, and 2 days later, it's DHL and it's at my store, which is nuts because it takes
Wow.
a week to ship something in the same county through USPS, but get it in 2 days from Japan.
That's because they're short staffed.
I guess so.
USPS had cutbacks.
Got to raise the postage.
all right. Any other card questions?
Man, listen, this has been very informative.
Got it. We're
I
good.
appreciate you guys.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Yeah, you
Really
want to talk some
appreciate it.
racing with us?
I'd love to talk some racing.
All right, well, let's get into some racing.
All right.
So normally we would do wide, but we skipped a week last week, which I think was probably in our best interest. And not that I like doing that, but we came off a really rough week at Charlotte. Um, we did our live podcast leading up to the Charlotte weekend, which was both a great time and a hard time altogether. We were about halfway through the podcast when the news broke that Kyle Busch had passed. We had gotten the news a little earlier in the day. Um, so we knew, but there was something about it becoming public.
Yeah, out of respect, we wanted it to be, posted by the powers that be before we, kind of loose lip sync ships on things.
Yeah.
Yep.
But two, there's also it was like there was like a finality about it of when it became public, right?
Yeah. It was like it's for real.
Yeah, like and still it wasn't real and still and we'll just talk through Charlotte and talk through the weekend and and the goods and the bads. We won't necessarily do a checkers, wreckers, hackers on it, but we'll just give our thoughts on the weekend. But um the podcast went great. The whole event that we did there at Cardiacs was a blast. So much
Absolutely.
Butterbean and Cole Swindell did their thing there. We had David Green and Austin Green there signing, and those guys were incredible.
Please bring David on. That dude was so fun to talk to.
Oh, he's amazing.
Mr. Green was awesome.
He's got a lot of stories.
Yes, we're gonna have him on. We're gonna have Austin on.
Yeah, he was good too. He was good too.
But and then we had Graxon on and Brian on with us, and that's those guys are always fun and insightful. But it did take a weird turn kind of halfway through when everything went public. But I do want to say specifically to Brian that I don't know that I even realized it in the moment, but I really appreciated kind of how Brian handled things. He lived that moment before with Dale Sr. through the DEI tragedy.
Yep.
And so he I think offered a little insight and direction that again in the moment I don't even know if I realized how much of an insight and a blessing that was. So, I want to give a shout out and a thank you to him for that. Just listening back to that, that was impactful, I thought. Um, for me, going to the track on Friday was it was strange. First of all, we go in and it's raining, and I was at the track early, which is no surprise to anybody. But
Shocker.
um, but I rolled in and already they had Kyle's picture on the giant jumbotron in the middle of the infield. And I just kind of sat in my car and was there's been no secret here. I've been a day one Kyle Busch fan, the biggest homer there ever was. Um, and I also, I've gotten to know a little bit of his family. I text with his father-in-law after everything happened, and he texted me back on Sunday, and not that he owed me that, not that I even expected that, but I just wanted them to know that I was thinking about them. Um, but I got to the track and was just, I did not know that it would hit me the way that it hit me, but it it hit me hard when I got to the track. Um, to the point I just had to sit in my car for a while and just sit in it. And then I walked to the garage, and I did not even know this was happening, but I walked to the garage just as the garage was opening and was there as they rolled his car off the hauler, and in the garage was just silent. Everybody had their hats off as they rolled the car off the hauler and into the garage stall. And it was just the most surreal moment and day and weekend. And then the truck race got postponed 87 times to be I felt so bad for those guys. I I talked to Butterbean on Saturday. Um, and one of our guys who does triple duty, who's on Sam Mayer's 41 team, he was just sleeping in the hallway on the hauler. Like I felt so bad. He had been there till like 1 o'clock in the morning Friday night. Then they had him be back at 5 on Saturday to set the
Just
thing
for it
all
to rain.
up, to tear it back down, to
That's
tell him
our
to be
that's
back
our man
again,
Corey. That was Corey.
then to tell him to be back again at 9 o'clock, only to push it again to Sunday morning. So I felt really bad for the truck guys. Um, the O'Reilly race on Saturday. And I'm just going to talk through the weekend, then we can just do this round robin style, whatever, however you guys want to do it. Feel free to jump in when you want to as well. Um, the
Well, I'm
O'Reilly,
gonna stop you before you get to that Xfinity race. Let's just go back to the Friday garage
go
opening.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
So yeah, to your point there, that was a very somber moment. Everyone stopped. No one unloaded their cars until that 33/8 car was off the trailer and in the garage before any other car came out of their trucks, which goes to show the community and the love that we have for each other as an industry. Yeah, we're competitors and they talk junk and they wreck each other and sometimes they punch each other in the face. But at the end of the day, it's all about the community, and it showed there that morning. You know, for the entire garage just to watch their car come off speaks volumes.
100%.
That's all I got. We
Ricky,
can.
what I have for Friday?
I was not at the track, and well, let me take that back. We were at the track. We were out in the camping area, and I mean, you could just tell. I mean, even inclusive of the weather, that like Chris said, it was everything was muted, somber. Um, I mean, honestly, at that point, yeah, NASCAR's got to go forward. They got to try and run that truck race. To your point, um, Mother Nature saw to it that that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just the early hours or half a day or 24 and 48 hours, are always going to be the toughest because everybody's looking for a way to try to make sense of it, and you can't. That was it. You just can't.
Yeah, 100%. Um, Saturday to me was the most frustrating day, I think, because again, they brought the trucks back and they had them set up their pit boxes only to tear them down again. And then later on, they put the only real break that we had in the weather that looked really good. They put the cup cars on the track and let them run practice for, I don't know, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that, maybe. And then later we started the O'Reilly race, if we're going to call it that. A race that we ran, Ricky, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure that you have the exact, but I think it was like 36 or 37 green flag laps total.
We missed
33.
we missed a quarter of them trying to not get my car towed. Shout out Trooper. Thank you very much.
There you
But
go. Good call.
yeah,
But listen, NASCAR cared nothing about that O'Reilly race. They wanted to check it off, they wanted to get it done, and they wanted to move on. That was a parade. They ran all these laps under caution to get it to where they had to get it to be able to call it. The worst part of it is that they opened the pits and allowed drivers to pit under caution, knowing they weren't going to go back green. And guys pitted, and that cost them points. Did not affect our Haas factory team cars because both our guys had hit the wall when we should have not been racing to begin with, because we could not even see. Our spotter Kevin Hamlin had posted a photo in turn one that's literally said, "Good luck into turn one, Sam Mayer."
You're on your own.
Yeah, you're on your own.
That's what it is. You're on your own.
Um, but again, NASCAR, all they wanted to do was check that race off the box, move on, get out of Charlotte, move on from the weekend. Um, and it was a parade. Um, and I don't think I'm the only one that felt that way. I heard different industry people who felt the same way. I heard Dell Jr. say something about it, even though one of his cars won. Um, I just did not like how we handled that
It was a bad product.
at
I mean,
all.
yeah, Mother Nature was obviously um, angry, pissed off as she has been for the past few weeks now. But yeah, I don't. I mean,
Well, but the way they handled it was not fair to the drivers. It wasn't fair to the teams. It wasn't fair to the viewers, the network. It wasn't fair to the track. It wasn't fair to the butts in the stands.
nah. But then you also got to think
And
about
the
what they.
guys who are running for points championship.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a tough call. You got
Yeah.
one
What are you
race
gonna
that
do?
hasn't
Go into
took place
Sunday
yet,
with 3 races?
and then you got the big promo with
But
all the military hype and the timing that has to go down with all that stuff. You had to something had to sacrifice to make sure that
I would
Sunday
I'd
went
rather
off
you
with.
push it to Monday and give everybody a fair shot at earning those points than I would for you to just line everybody up and march them around at 55 miles an hour or whatever you're running them.
is this just one of those where entertainment and the powers that be clash with competition. Just
Sure.
Yeah, you
Sure.
probably
Because
got some of that
honestly, the
too.
forecast for Monday was all rain. It
Yeah.
turned out not to be. It was beautiful. It turned out to be a beautiful day. They didn't
But
know that.
Saturday, the forecast was like 99% rain Monday.
Yep.
Yeah.
mhm.
I'm not saying it wasn't, but I would much rather you have red flagged it when not tried to go back to it when there was you couldn't even see. Like the thing to do was leave the race red flagged, go back to it when you can go back to it versus try to force something that you shouldn't be forcing. That's my
Um,
Yeah, I don't know.
I get that, but then you get into travel logistics to the next place,
Yeah, I
right?
don't know.
Now you backing that up. Like it's more than just, oh, we red flagged and then we rode around. Yeah, riding around sucks, and yeah, I mean, but also those teams that pitted also knew the weather. They saw the radar, right, and they chose to come down.
Well,
Versus those that didn't, right? So,
take
I mean,
those
it's a double-edged sword. You're not going to make everyone happy, but at the same time, when you got a weekend like it is, and you got two other races you have to do the next morning, what
Already. Yeah.
already, like if the truck race had went off, you probably would have red flagged it and came in
Yeah, you might have
Sunday
got a little
morning,
more slack. Yeah,
right?
you might have.
well, and then we move to Sunday and we do the truck race Sunday morning with a time clock on it
Yep.
because for
You
some
got you got the big
Two
shebang going
different
down.
two different networks.
Two different
well,
networks.
well, you know, you got we've got a truck race that we've got to finish so that Fox, who is covering the Indy 500 on the main network, can be done with the truck race on FS1. I don't understand. Our race for the Coke 600 doesn't start for hours later, hours and hours later. I do not understand why that race needs to finish like that. Why you need to have a time clock on a truck race. Like, first of all, whatever the Indy cars do is not our problem, not our deal, and they're not on the same network. So why do we I don't understand why there needs to be a time clock on this and how the inclement weather rule suddenly applies. Like we literally just make things up as we go.
But
Well,
they
I'm
did
telling you.
announce it before the race.
But it all goes back to the schedule to get them planes in the air, them choppers doing exercises, the fans in the stands, and all the Memorial Day hoopla that comes along with the 600. The concert, all of that. I mean, in my opinion, that's what it comes down to. When they do the math on the time for the events that they have scheduled and the things that have to play out, I think that's probably you're pushing calls there. That's why the truck race was on the time limit.
All right. I didn't like that either.
No, I
You
get it. I understand.
you had a tough weekend there,
All right.
Superfan.
I will say this though, for all the people who complained about the 600 and how it ended under weather delay. I
Mm-hmm.
will say I do believe 100% NASCAR did everything that they could to get the 600 in. And when they called that race was the appropriate time to call the race. It was pouring. They had lost the track. There was no way they were getting that race back.
Yeah, they lost the track. The dew points had set in. It'd have been 2 in the morning before that track was drying. You
If you would
feel
have got
me?
it drive in.
If you got it dried
And
in.
and you guys, and I just learned this that weekend. There is a 1 a.m. curfew at the Charlotte.
Around the racetrack. That's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah,
So there's you could not even if it was dry at 2 a.m.
yeah.
You couldn't be drying it.
call the
Yep.
governor at that point. Let it go.
Call the governor. Governor doesn't do anything
He can get rid of a curfew.
on a local level.
Call the mayor. I don't know. Call call Ghostbusters. I don't care. Let 'em-
Oh.
Who you gonna call? Yeah,
But
no. Mother
I do
Nature
not have
struck again, you know.
Hey, it was just time to get out of town and chalk that one. Mother Nature hates this sport. You hear me say it all the time. Just
Look at
move on.
listen. Ricky was so done with that weekend.
Oh
He was
God.
literally doing a rain dance. I was like, why you hate
You
NASCAR?
were so
I'm
mad
just
at
over
me.
this weekend. I'm ready to get off of this pit road. I just want to go to my house and drink beer and take a shower in my own shower.
Oh
All
yeah.
factual.
Oh
15
yeah.
hour days aren't fun.
Especially when they're wet like that.
That's it. We
Yeah.
had to move on.
Yeah.
Anyways, Charlotte was a tough.
Charlotte was tough. Exactly.
Yes.
Um, congrats to Suarez. The guy went out there and won that race. Great,
Listen, he
great
didn't do it.
strategy call, and
Yeah.
he held off
Hey,
two really good cars.
He
defended
held him
his
off.
position.
Yep.
Yep.
He defended his position. It wasn't some fluke where he, you know, pitted under caution or rain
Nope.
delay.
Not at
Right.
all.
He drove to the front. He did his call. He did his pit stops like he should. He drove to the front with the pit stops. He held off on the restarts. Right. And
Yep.
then it rained.
And
So
how about this? I know we're not doing checkers, records, heckers for this. How who would have ever, Ricky, would you have bet your money at the beginning of the season that halfway through the year that Spire Motorsports would have
Would have
as
more
many
race wins
as
than
many as
Hendrick.
Hendrick and as many drivers in the top 10 in points as Hendrick?
It's crazy.
listen, it is crazy.
Like
It is
who?
crazy.
I mean, somebody file a lawsuit against these people. Oh, they already did that. They already did that. But
Oh, yeah.
and to Jeff Dickerson's point, if it weren't for freaking SVG being so good on these road courses, Michael McDowell would have a win too because he
Yeah.
was second.
Yeah. He drove his ass off in Watkins Glen.
Yeah,
Yep.
but SVG, man, that's a joker.
Yeah, that's
We gonna talk about him coming up too.
he's a
All right,
teacher.
let's do anything else you want to add for Charlotte.
Now I'm
Oh, I
glad
do want
Charlotte's
to add
done.
one more thing.
I'm with Chris.
I do want to add one more thing that
What you got?
so and this is something that should not be skipped over. So before pre-race, Carrie Custer came up to me and she said, "Hey, we just got told that Samantha Bush is going to be here for the pre-race ceremony.
Yeah, they were. They were.
They asked for all the wives to meet her on the Painted Eight,
That's correct.
stand with
I
her.
remember that.
And so she asked me if I would take Cal, their baby, and of course, obviously, absolutely. So all the wives go out there. A lot of the drivers went, and Samantha shows up with Braxton, and Brexton, Lennox, Kurt, Kurt's girlfriend, um, Kyle's parents, Samantha's parents were there, and they go out there and they show up to this racetrack days after they've lost their husband and father and son-in-law. And first of all, the strength of that little boy to stand there and hold his mom and for her to show up there. Listen, what a selfless act of that family.
Oh
But
yeah.
they were there for the NASCAR community and for those fans because everybody around there was lost in questioning and and just had all these questions and doubts and all these things and just them showing up there and Steve O'Donnell's words were incredible in his actions. But shout out to Samantha and the kids and the family for what they did for us as a community. They didn't have to do that. There was nothing that required that. If they had not been there, and nobody expected them to be there, they didn't owe that to us, but they gave us something that we did not deserve. And that was a little bit of comfort and a little bit of closure and the ability to start healing. And they deserve a huge amount of thanks and gratitude for that.
Oh, I agree. That was a huge moment for the fans, huge moment for the sport. Old Donald's words were, like you said, spectacular. It showed his leadership, and that's what he's in the position to do. And I personally feel like in that moment he had to say something, but I'm with you. I was not expecting the family to be present 2 days after his passing like that.
Yeah, no, I fully expected him to say something. I
Right.
did not expect them, but thank you to them for showing up for us.
Oh, absolutely.
And I hope that we as a community, we as fans, continue to show up for them. I saw where they had a private ceremony for Kyle um, on Tuesday, and Brexton raced for the first time on Tuesday night. Kudos to him for getting back out there. I hope everybody will continue to rally around him. Hope he continues to chase down that dream. And that all these guys who've said they will be there for it continue to do that, and they live up to that.
Absolutely.